Today is all about getting a couple chuck roasts ready to turn them into burnt ends, because that's what we're doing tomorrow out on the grill. We're going to make some chuck roast burnt ends. And the first thing we got to do today is get a rub ready. It's a really simple but tasty one, and we're starting with a tablespoon of kosher salt. We've got a tablespoon of a coarsely ground black pepper, a tablespoon of turbinado sugar, a tablespoon of smoked paprika, half a tablespoon of granulated garlic, and half a tablespoon of chili powder. We're just going to get in here and mix this up. That's looking good, and it may not seem like a lot because we're doing 2 good-sized chuck roasts, but that's going to be fine. I want this to be the first layer of flavor, then we're going to have the smoke, and then we're going to have that sauce on it as we turn it into burnt ends. So now let's move on to our chuck roasts. So I have 2 chuck roasts here, about 6 pounds total between them. These are USDA choice chuck roasts. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to break them down a little bit and get some of the excess fat off. I don't want to leave a lot of these bigger pieces of fat. We want to get down to that meat. I'm going to section this off so I can cut that big piece of fat out of there and still leave a good amount of meat in that section. The other little bits of fat we're not going to worry about, but any big hunks like this one right here, that's coming off. So now that we have some pieces here, all I'm going to do is break these down into roughly the same size pieces. They're all not going to be exact. Put more of that fat off of here and some of that membrane that's hard. And we're just going to keep working our way around these pieces. There's no set rule here in how big anything has to be. But, something like that. Now you can also do these chuck roasts whole and then cut them into burnt ends, throw them back on. I like to do it this way if I can. Get a lot more seasoning around every side. There's a lot of great uses for burnt ends. You can just eat them like that. You can put them between some Hawaiian rolls, almost like burnt end sliders. You can make burnt end chili, burnt end tacos. You can top a burger with burnt ends, especially the beef burnt ends. A lot of things. Really, really delicious. So I have all my pieces of chuck roast in here, and we're just going to start hitting them with the seasoning, moving them around, getting a coating on everybody. Probably should have used a bigger bowl, but isn't that what I usually do? Use a bowl that's too small? Kind of my thing. Bottom pieces up here to the top. Just keep tossing everybody around. All right, now these are going to go on a rack in a baking tray so they can sit up off the bottom as they absorb these flavor in the refrigerator overnight. Just get everybody arranged on here. If they touch, not a problem. A little like playing Tetris with meat. And everybody to fit. I am not going to use a second rack. I will make everybody fit here. Everybody's going to get to know each other really well. Going to hit the tops of these with a little bit more rub, a little bit more flavor. All right, I am happy with that. It's smelling great right now. This is going to go in the refrigerator overnight, soak in all these seasonings, and tomorrow I'll see you out at the grill. All right, the Camp Chef Woodwind Wi-Fi 24 is up to temp. My temp setting today is 250 degrees, and I have my smoke set at level 4. On this cooker, you can set the amount of smoke from, I think it's 1 to 9 or 10. And I always find 4 is a really good setting, helps keep the temp stable in the pit, but provides enough smoke flavor. So let's go ahead and get these chuck roast pieces on and start turning them into burnt ends. As you can see, I have my jerky rack in the Camp Chef. That just gives a really nice, solid base for me to put these pieces on. I use it for jerky and other things like this. Salmon works really well. That's looking good. All right, let's get this closed up and get smoking. We're gonna come back in about an hour and we're probably gonna spritz. It's very dry today and we're in temperatures in the upper 90s, so this is probably gonna require some spritzing today. And when I spritz, I'm just gonna be using plain water. All I'm trying to do is add some moisture, not any other flavors than the ones we're gonna use. So I'll see you back here in about an hour. All right, we've been going for 1 hour. Let's go ahead and check our chuck roast pieces and see how we're doing. Oh, those are looking nice. Good color developing. We're gonna go ahead and give these a spritz with plain water. I don't want any drying out on the surface to happen. Let's do a quick little tenderness check here. Still got some resistance. That's totally expected. Don't expect these to be tender at this point. Let's also check internal temperature and see what we have. Looks like 159 degrees. That's right about where the stall would be in a full chuck roast. In a full chuck roast, it would take longer, but with these smaller pieces, things can move more quickly. But I want to let these go for another hour and let these pieces develop some more color. So I'm going to spritz about every 20 minutes for the next hour. See you back here at the 2-hour mark. All right, we are at the 2-hour mark. We're gonna go ahead and get our chuck roast pieces into a pan with some sauce and some other ingredients. Based upon the temperature and tenderness we were at 1 hour, I know that at 2 hour, that's what I wanna do. Yeah, those are looking fantastic. I just love the color on those. I wanna get a little bit of moisture in my pan here, just the same spritzing liquid, plain water. Let's get our chuck roast pieces in here. We're gonna fill it up, get everybody to fit. No one's missing out on the party. I'm gonna add some bourbon barbecue sauce, about 12 ounces. Now it's time for a little bit of honey, maybe about a 1/4 cup. And finally, a cup of brown sugar. Let's go ahead and sprinkle this all around. Gonna mix this up and get everybody coated. All right, I'm gonna get a piece of foil on this here. And back onto the grill. I'm gonna turn my temp down to 225 now for the remainder of the cook. And we'll come back here in 2 hours and give these a check. All right, our chuck roast pieces have been going a total of 4 hours now. 2 hours out on the grate, 2 hours in the pan covered with foil with all that sauce and that goodness. Let's go ahead and check them and see if they're ready to go back out on the grate. Get this foil peeled back. Oh yeah, those are looking outstanding. Let's do a little tenderness check here. Yeah, those are feeling really, really good. Yeah, it's time to get these back on the cooking grate so that glaze can finish setting up. It's easy to see why some people call these burnt ends meat candy. They are just gorgeous. All right, we're gonna close this up and let these go for 30 minutes. That should set the glaze nicely. All right, our chuck roast pieces have had that final 30 minutes to set that glaze. Let's see how they're doing. Oh man, as I said, meat candy. I mean, look at those. All right, I'm gonna get these off of here and get them inside so we can have a taste. Time to plate up our burnt ends. Now, if you want to, you could save some of the sauce and put it on here at the end too. Just don't add it all when you put it in the foil pan. Save maybe, I don't know, half a cup or make some extra, or just have another bottle of barbecue sauce you can use. These just came out with such a really nice color, just that really sort of dark mahogany color. Let's see how tender we are here. Yeah, That is pretty tender. I'm liking that. Let's go in for a taste. Really good smoke flavor and really good combination. It's a good mixture of three things: that smoke, the rub, and the glaze. When you put those three things together and you give your beef time on the smoker, man, it's going to turn out great. The thing I really love about doing burnt ends like this, using a chuck roast and cutting the pieces up first before smoking the whole chuck roast, is you get that flavor all around every piece and you get that nice candied exterior doing it this way. Love it. And as I mentioned earlier, there are so many things you can use this for. Use it in chili, pop a burger with it, or, like I am, enjoy it as an amazing snack.